Hello, this is Gideon in Denmark. Merry Christmas, even though it's a little late, and Happy New Year. This is the third chapter of my story, and I'm simply going to continue from when I left my 9th grade year, which was my first year in a boarding school, first year being away from home, my parents, being around other kids, and still being kind of the one of the youngest people there, due to my late age, or my late birthday in '85 in December. So, but and due to starting in school, maybe a year too young. But anyway, it was a very restricted year, my 9th grade year, very rule based, very traditional. Yeah, just a lot of things that really didn't fit with who I was. But it was a very tough year. I cried a lot. I was very homesick, and school-wise and where I was, for the most part, I didn't really like it. They had a gym, and I spent a ton of time there to shoot around, and I worked out my own program and things like that to really improve my game, because I was still playing basketball in my hometown, because this boarding school was only like 30 to 40 minutes away by bus. But it really just shaped me to make the next 3 years of my life pretty awesome, especially the year that followed, which was in my 10th grade. And that was that was a boarding school that was focused on sports. It was one of the most legendary schools in Denmark when it came to basketball, because they had a really tough program, and they had an American coach who was really successful, but also had a reputation for being very tough on his players in terms of what I then found out wanted the most out of them. And a person who is a close friend of mine today, and I ended up there because I really wanted to go there. I had been looking at schools for my 10th grade. I was looking at going back to where I left in my 8th grade, or at least to go back in the kind of a regular type of schooling, because I didn't really want to continue on boarding schools unless I could get into this one. And we applied to this school, and actually my mom and dad knew for 1 week that I would get in before they actually told me, because it was a big decision. It was not a cheap option. But they gave me this gift, which was, because I don't know if it was a miracle or it was just how it happened, but there was a long wait list, and I got in. And they called my parents and said there was space open, and they wanted to think about it for a week, and then I got home that weekend after and told me that I had this option. And I was, of course, really happy, because I knew that the name of the school was OURE, and OURE, and it became the best year of my life. It was so opposite what I had been used to in my 9th grade. It was so much more freedom, so much more basketball, focus on personal development, mindset focus, being disciplined. And I became the best shooter ever on the school. I was a shooter before that too, but my goal was to be the best shooter I could be. I beat many records. I became one of the most improved players on the first team, which when I came to the school, I had no business there. But I worked my ass off. I literally do. We had 12 official practices a week, so if you want to play on the first team, you needed to go to all 12 practices, and you needed to do homework as well, which was shooting 300 3-pointers a week at least, and make 50% of them to be able to shoot in games. And I, of course, shot at least between 500 and 1,000. I turned that in, and I shot way more than that every week. And we won the Danish championship. We went to the US to play high school teams. And it was just a blissful year, where you woke up in the morning and you had morning practice. You went on to have breakfast and a few hours of school, then there was practice again, and maybe a couple more hours of school, then practice, and then open gym or another practice. And that was for an entire year. I loved it. Everything was awesome. The friendships, the camaraderie, everything was just awesome. And it just became one of those years that I look back on with great satisfaction and being grateful for that opportunity. And it was also very tough to leave there, because I really wish I could be there for the next few years because I got so much out of it. But during that year, my American coach there, he used to have a lot of assistant coaches from the U.S. coming, and I don't know if that was last year or the year before I was there, but he had an American coach there for 2 years at one point, and he was there visiting us during the end of that year, and he asked all of us players that if some of us wanted to go to the U.S. to play basketball and go to high school, we could just kind of connect with him, and he would help us. And I already knew I wanted to do that. So the year that followed, I began working in a supermarket. I got great responsibility. The boss there said, I really trust you. I believe in you. You can do this. And I got a whole department for myself. And I was only 16 during that 16, 17 for that year, and did pretty much everything that the educated people there did. Worked full time, had my own responsibility of ordering products or merchandise or store stock for everything. I mean, I had responsibility for everything, and I sold TVs and all kinds of stuff in the department next to it that was connected to this retail department. So that was a year where I really got to see that when somebody trusts me, I could make a lot of things happen, because when I was given freedom to do that kind of a thing, just like when I got freedom to just play basketball, I improved greatly, and I just improved a lot. And my whole goal for that year was to earn money and save up money to go to the U.S. for 1 year as a senior in high school. And it was a year where I played basketball, but I didn't play as much as I wanted to. Of course, I worked. And I obviously the motivation for me didn't continue as much because, it was just not there as much as it was the year before. But as I got closer to going to the U.S., I got more and more motivated to get ready, get in shape, polish my skills and stuff. And when the time was there, I had my visa and my passport and plane ticket in hand, and in the end of July, I believe it was, or maybe beginning of August of 2003, I went to Cleveland, Ohio, and to a little town in Vermilion close by Lake Erie, which is up north in the U.S., northwest, but close to the Michigan lakes. And you can ask yourself, why did I end up in Ohio? Simply because that the assistant coach Mark, who was there in Denmark at that time, who offered to help to get me over there. His college roommate was an assistant coach there, and they helped me find a family that I could stay with, and that simply happened that way. That I was a high school student, became the sixth man on the varsity team, on the high school team there, and actually started the first 4 games because of our point guard was injured. So it was a pretty interesting beginning of basketball, because I was really nervous, but we had a great year. Considering the last 5 years, it has all been losing seasons, and we actually had the best year the school had in 5 years. It was a year of success, a year of great satisfaction, a year where a lot of the hard work that I did the year before really paid off. Became fluent in English, which was really nice because I used that every day. And became friends with a lot of people, and I've been visiting Vermilion 3 times, I believe, since then. And I will always have a home there, so that's nice. I have a lot of people who enjoy when I come there, and I enjoy when I'm there, so I always know that I have people around me when I'm there, so it's good. And something that I'm proud of that I did when I was so young and earning that much money to go over there for a year, because obviously I was into Michael Jordan, so I obviously had to buy like tons of shoes and tons of clothing and all that stuff, and that was a waste of money to me now, but came home with so much stuff, so that was kind of the next 3 years of my life. That was when I was 18, turned 18 in the US. And when I was done with that year, my family came over and we had kind of a big summer trip in the US, long road trips and along the East Coast and flying over to the West Coast and going down to the main cities like San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Nevada, Arizona, Las Vegas, and so on. And then I came back home, and that's going to be the next chapter of the story of my life. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel here. So many are subscribing, and I really appreciate it. It's so awesome, and I really enjoy doing this, so thank you. And besides that, I am still seeing great results. It continues to work, the iPass2 business system, and so click the link below and join my business, and I'll help you to get the results that I'm seeing right now, because that's what the system is designed to do. And I am dedicated to helping you to get those results as well. So with that, thank you for listening, and I look forward to give you the next chapter tomorrow. Be well. See ya.